Wow! It's 2 minutes to late night!
All right, what's up, sobbing eye titties? Welcome to Pod Minutes to Cast Night, the 2 Minutes to Late Night podcast. You're here with the 2 Minutes to Late Night Writers Room. Someone.
I'm America's sweetheart, Katie Rose Leon. It's been 10 days since I've seen the sun. Rations are running low. I used a sanitary napkin to wipe my ass. Yeah.
Drew, stop wearing sunglasses.
Hey, I'm in LA, baby, and I'm so stressed out. I chewed through my night guard last night and had to buy a new one this morning.
All right.
Yeah, I'm Lucy Steiner, and after staring at myself in the mirror for 11 days straight, I realized that one of my eyelids is bigger than the other.
Oh, shit.
It's like... Yeah.
Learning and growing. I love it.
And I'm Jeremy Hammond, and I don't care if you don't like me. I'm still on the podcast.
Hey! King shit.
Listen, it's too late to fire him now.
Yeah, what are we going to fire? What are we going to fire him from? The podcast we do once every 3 months?
Yeah. And I'm Jordan Olds, and my neighbor was... went outside for the first... I had never seen my neighbor before, but I was playing fetch with my dog in my little backyard, and this old Rush Limbaugh-looking fella, had to be over 60, decided to smoke a cigar. A cigar in the respiratory pandemic that affects people over 60. And at that moment, I was like, maybe all the old people should die. They don't give a fuck.
I don't know, man. After watching this Danzig movie, though, I gotta say, I thought that all the old people should die, and now I think they shouldn't die, but they definitely should not be allowed to vote. That's for sure.
Yeah, how old is Danzig?
It's like 61, I think.
He's like
61. Well, all eyes on Danzig. Yeah, bye
Danzig.
bitch.
All titty eyes on Danzig.
Danzig's gonna be fine. He hates leaving his house.
That's true, yeah.
He is 64 years old, by the way.
64.
64 years old.
How old
Good
is
for
Dave
him.
Mustaine?
What? Not right now.
Well, I just looked it up the other day because Katie posted about him. And because
I've tried to see Megadeth 3 fucking times, and something happens every time, and I have tickets for when they play Jones Beach in the summer, and there's no way that shit isn't shit canned now. Although my partner made a really good point that Dave Mustaine is totally the kind of guy. He's like, what do you mean I can't play? The government can't tell me what to do. And
yes,
just like
absolutely.
plays
This is very true.
like an empty Jones Beach. Just
You're talking about a man who might have just been humbled by cancer, though. I think things might be a little different.
Dude, no way.
Also,
Dave Mustaine is absolutely the type of guy who's like, you can tell that the government doesn't want us to get coronavirus because they'd be controlling the weather to keep us in.
But the thing is, too, he have to relearn guitar after having like a neurological thing? Like, I don't know, man.
Anyway, we got a new video series.
Oh yeah, sorry.
How long has it been? It's been a minute. It took a minute and 54 seconds to get into both Corona plans and conspiracy theories. But yeah, we have a new. There's a new 2 minutes video series that features. We're just doing cover songs with our musician friends, and they're all recording their parts from just their house. That was actually our plan before the pandemic hit. It just turns out that this is a weirdly good way for people to perform, and make a little bit of money in this really bizarre time. So yeah, we're just going to be putting out a bunch of cover videos.
What we're saying is, while you are all suffering, we've been profiting largely from this pandemic. Hey, so eat
we hated
my ass.
Yeah, that's why we
don't-
want the old people to die, because we're trying to get the stocks up.
Also, don't eat my ass, because you can pass corona through ass eating, which is
What is
something I
happening?
learned.
Why is this happening? We made a fun video. It was Weird Al Yankovic. Why is this happening? No one eats anybody's ass. We just have fun and we sing songs with our friends and we stay inside and no one gets sick. And then one day,
You're
I
not
don't know,
eating
I'll-
ass, bro? In
Here's the
2020,
thing.
you're not eating ass?
Bro, I'm fucking. I don't have a job. I'm only eating cans of tuna. It's terrible.
Eat It
My
came
farts
out in
smell like Boston, dude.
1984, and Eat It is not about asses.
I don't know, man. Maybe
It's
it
about
is. Eat it.
bologna.
It's about eating asses, maybe. Have you looked into it recently?
No.
Yes.
I don't like thinking about Weird
Yes, I
Al's
have.
sexuality.
He's
Al
married
has a-
and has a kid, which means he fucks.
He
At
found
least
that
once.
kid.
He
What?
did
He
at
found that
least
kid on the
once.
bus. He like opened an accordion box and there was a baby in it, and he was like, "Oh, all right. I guess I'll raise this and shave off my mustache for some reason."
Can you imagine how many times Weird Al has like maybe had a sexual experience and someone tried to parody one of his parody songs
Ooh,
into
that
being
sounds
about
awful.
sex? Just like someone like a woman is like, "Eat it, huh?" Right? And he's like, another one.
You know,
He
my man
walks
Weird Al
out.
has he has a secret playlist of his own songs that he only plays while fucking. You know, like they're parodies that you don't know about. Like when the problem comes along, you must blow me.
Boo.
I don't agree. I think Weird
Boo
Al
me.
needs an escape. Weird Al exclusively puts on Thundercat to fuck. He just
I
fucks
do
to
love Thundercat. Good shit.
It's good shit.
Anyways, the video is fun.
Listen, it's a nice video. We're trying to. It's doing a nice thing for people
Yeah.
who their tours have been canceled. Albums aren't able to be made, but we can do this, so
Yeah.
we're gonna.
And they're
yeah.
really fun to listen to and watch. Everyone's having like a genuinely good time.
And we're paying everybody who's a part of it. That's
Yeah.
the important thing. So we restructured the Patreon so that everybody who does it, whether you play a harmonica or you compose the entire thing, Jordan, you get a little bit of money from it. So if you know,
I'm not getting any money from it. Just to be
No,
clear.
no.
This is going. I don't. I can work from home, so I'm not taking any money.
Yeah. But if you know any famous musicians who have nothing to do, send them our way.
No, please don't. Actually, we have enough. We have a full plate. Anyway,
Actually, someone show the video to Weird Al, though. Someone
Yeah.
has to know Weird Al's email address. It's not Weird
Alfred
Alfred.
at gmail.com.
it's so.
I'll-
It's so.
Yankovic Alfred at hellokittyhotmail.org.
It changes. My world gets flipped upside down that it's Weird Alfred instead and not Weird Allen every time I think about it.
Yeah.
It's
You know what's
very
weird, too? Glenn Danzig's name isn't Glenn Danzig.
Yeah,
his real
I know.
name his real name is Glenn Anzalone.
Yeah. It's great. It sounds like a sandwich shop.
Yeah.
Give me prosciutto and banana peppers at Anzalone. All right.
Moving
Speaking of Anzalone, that name is now attached to film because Glenn Danzig has made a film. Listen, we've been waiting to talk about this since the notion that this might be happening. Since there was like the possibility of Glenn Danzig directing a movie. We've been waiting for this. I can't believe it exists. My God.
So you were actually
How
you
could this
were
have
at the-
happened?
I was
You
at
were
the
at a screening.
screening for this.
Right.
Yeah.
You're the only one of us who's seen the movie before today.
Yes, that's true. I also, I saw it was a very initial thoughts. Where are we? I'll tell my screening story, but
I thought I was furious for the first 20 minutes that you guys made me watch this. Like, truly angry at all of you. I'm like, why would you do this to me? I'm not having fun. But then I don't know if it's like a Stockholm syndrome thing, or if, maybe I have a little bit of Rona in my head. But I was like, starting to get into it, and by the end of it, I'm like, someone, like, they should be doing stage plays of this. They should, like,
Yeah.
they should, like, I want to, like, cut this up and, like, do a performance in front of it. I'm like, this is art.
Dude, what's weird is I feel like I had the exact opposite experience of you on this, where the first 20 to 30 minutes I was just keyed in, loved it, was having so much fucking fun with it, and then it just steadily declined until at some point I was like, what am I still doing here? I could do literally anything else.
Dude, I need to make it clear, this movie is dog shit. Like, the worst.
I mean,
think
we're really
that
just
goes
talking
without
about
saying.
which third of it we liked.
I actually was surprised by the consistency of the quality throughout. Like for me, it was like it would become the first 20 minutes I thought were awesome, just brilliant filmmaking, and then after that it started to lose me a little bit. It fluctuated from being like oh my, this like really surprising, like, oh I really genuinely like this, to like losing the attention and becoming more of like student filmy. But then
You
it would
didn't think the whole
but then
thing was student film.
But then it
Wait.
would drag me back in.
Wait, I have to contest the thought that
dragging
it was
you back
consistent
in
throughout.
with all 8 arms.
I should say
6 arms.
inconsistent.
6 arms,
he-
2 legs.
So there's one thing about the consistency though that I don't agree with, which is that so the movie opens up. First things first, it opens up with the company graphic for Cleopatra Films, which no one has ever heard of and is very much probably some sort of weird drug money thing. So much so that like they couldn't even compose their own like little jingle, and it's clearly like it fades out before it finishes. Like they just grabbed some song off the internet. And then there's the opening scene is the narrator, the host, the Elvira of whatever the fuck this thing is, plucking the eyeballs out of
her name is Morella, and for me, I'm like, fuck off. Just why aren't you Verotika? It's already
Yeah, that's what
we're
your name should be,
already
Verotika.
here.
Oh yeah,
Her name wasn't that.
Betty
Yeah.
and Verotika.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
you go. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
well, so but
The
that scene,
Verotik is already the comic thing. It's
Yeah.
the company is Verotik, and then the movie's called Verotika, and you have a host character, and you don't name her Verotika. Like, fuck off. We're already here. She painted the shadows of crosses onto her cheeks. Just fucking call her Verotika.
yeah,
Yeah, that was
So
a very like Game of Thrones season 8 move of them.
Yeah.
Just to
Why
fight
is no
expectations for
one
the sake of
named
it.
Thrones?
So Mortadella is pulling the eyeballs out of a lady, and they shot that like it kind of looks like a decent quality. You know what I mean? Like it looked kind of nice. It looked like the set had production value. And then the credits start, and they're very much made in like iMovie 2007.
Yeah, it was like someone's
Yes.
like thesis project for their like when you're a senior in high school and you get to take a college course at the community
Right.
college. They're like, this is my fake movie intro. I learned how to use After Effects at
Yeah.
NASA
But barely.
community.
But it's weird though, because I thought like all those moments where she's taking ladies' faces, which for some reason like they were all these like very like these like 10-minute long like interactions where they're like, "You're gonna take my face? What? You're gonna take my face? What the hell are you talking about?"
Well, that's because literally every single moment in this movie lasts 5 seconds to 10 seconds longer than it should.
Well,
Every
because
single shot lingers.
They used every shot. I swear
Yes.
to God, they
Yes.
used every take.
Yeah.
They really wanted to hit
Every
that
take.
hour and a half to be considered a feature length. So they just clearly just like there is so much silence in this movie of just like there's a scene where a woman is admiring herself in the mirror, I swear to God, for 5 straight minutes, and you're like, are you gonna say something?
There's
also,
so much breathing. There's so much just like letting the camera roll on a strip club. There's at least like
But-
20 minutes of this movie that doesn't not only not need to be there, but literally just isn't anything.
I have a question. Does anyone know anything about the production of this movie? Because I have a very specific question.
I am dying to know more. There isn't. I've also tried to look this up. I bought the Blu-ray because it said it had special features. I was like, I fucking want someone interviewing
those.
Danzig. Someone interviewing Danzig on the set of this fucking movie. I need it. And it doesn't exist. It was
You're
I
a mark,
know-
Jordan. Total mark.
Yeah. I know one thing about
I've
the
been
production.
fucking
though.
hoodwinked. I shouldn't have. I'm believing what they're selling.
I know one thing about the production though. So this is the what I was getting at. Basically, like, you know, there's the Michelin lady scene, and then there's the opening credits, and the first half is like just titles. Then suddenly Danzig is like, "Hey, remember the opening from Spider-Man 2? That was cool. We should do that." And so it's just spider webs and all this shit. And then there's this one singular credit that I was like, no fucking way. So there's this scene that says director of photography, some dude, and then underneath it Danzig. And I was like, there's absolutely no way Danzig knows how to use a camera.
But that explains the horrible lighting.
Everything.
It does.
It
It explains a lot of
explains-
things.
Yes, I saw that he was
Yeah.
the DP on this, and I'm like, that's why this is all lit like a high school theater production.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, it's
But
crazy.
But
then
only-
why are the moments of faceless people like kind of good? Does anyone know why those were kind of good?
I love that. I love that. Wait a minute. Jeremy loves the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Katie loves the end of the movie, and Lucy loves the middle.
Well, I wouldn't say I loved any of it. I would say
No, I definitely didn't love any of it.
I would say I'm suffering from brain insanity. But no, okay, so the reason I ask is, am I wrong? Because I read the credits while it was rolling, and I watched this film that you all watched. Every single actress in this is a porn actress, right? Am I wrong?
yes,
Yes, they are. Yes.
Okay.
None of them are French. None of them are Italian.
Well, that I knew. I'm just saying, that's when I came around on this
Yeah.
movie. Because I'm like, oh my God, every single one of these women are porn actresses. And then in my mind, I'm like, that rules? Like,
Yeah.
oh man, the lip fillers, the weird wigs, the terrible pleather clothing. I was like, man. And that's why I don't think this is a good movie. I don't suggest anyone watch it. What I do suggest is you take individual clips and project it on the wall while better music plays at a party, maybe. That I can get behind.
Yeah. While we're talking about the credits, since there's a lot to talk about
There's
in
so
the
much to
opening
credits.
unpack. We should probably let's walk from the credits to the end because it's
Yeah,
like
I think that's
the
gotta
only
be how
way
we do this.
to talk
But
about
wait, so
this.
credits thing. There's a credit in it that says based on the comic book series Verotika. Which is so funny to me because it's the fucking comics that Danzig makes, and this is the movie that Danzig made. You
Well,
could
he's going
just
for
say-
best adapted screenplay. He needs that Oscar.
Yeah,
you
he's
know?
Does
making
it
his
count
own
as
universe.
adapting a screenplay if you wrote the source material?
Technically, it does,
Yeah.
but that doesn't matter.
Yeah, he was like, here. All right. So I went to the screening of this movie, and so some of these questions have been answered because he has talked about it. In the screening, he did mention, he was like, yeah, it's based off of like a comic book, and like I fucking hate every comic book adaptation because it doesn't look like the comic book. I wanted it to look exactly like my comic book, so we used that for the storyboards. And the thing is,
it does look like the
technically,
comics.
it looks exactly like the comic book. That woman who I didn't actually know that any of these women were porn stars. I thought that like that was just because in the screening I was like, oh, that's Danzig's girlfriend who has the eye boobs.
I mean, there's
I think they're
definitely,
dating in real life.
There's definitely people in there that are people's like wives and girlfriends. I got that vibe. But if you just read the names in the beginning, they're erotic actress names. I don't mean to make a sweeping generalization, but I think it's a fair. And
most people don't name their daughters Candy or Coco. Usually those names are taken or given.
I was like, good on these ladies. I was like, good hustle. I don't know.
Get paid.
Make that money. Bilk it straight out of Danzig.
Milk it straight out of his eyes, which are his tits.
But like, I hope they all were able to purchase some more lip fillers and like re-up their websites and stuff out of this. Like, truly.
I mean, I'm amazed how many people were actually in the credits. Like, I've gotten paid way less money to do better things than this, that I was like, if you wouldn't mind, don't put my name in the credits. I didn't really edit this. You guys edited it. I just organized the footage. Like, the fact that anybody wants their names on this is insane.
Oh, dude, I want my name on this movie just because it's like, if you tell anyone, look, it's the Danzig movie, they're like, oh, okay, I get it.
But here's the thing, too. Like, all the male actors in this movie have a very distinct Tommy Wiseau, The Room, sincere extras casting quality, where they like are just gonna act the shit out of anything they get cast in, because you know what, this is it.
Oh,
this
for
is
sure.
a movie.
Like that one of the minor characters, or I guess became less minor, but like the scratchy voice cop.
Oh yeah,
I like that. You could tell he was trying to make that a thing.
I liked the soft-spoken cop. Who
we have to take this step by step. We have to let Jordan tell this story, because there's nothing I want to do more than talk about the random French news reporter. I know. That guy's my hero. Let's move, Jordan.
All right.
Cut us.
Jordan,
everybody shut
screening.
up.
So I show up to the screening, and it's in New York City, and I thought it would be like at an artier theater. I thought it would be like the only place that really wanted to show it was like the Angelica or some shit. You know what I mean? Because Sunshine doesn't exist.
Right.
No, it's at the AMC in Times Square.
Oh man!
The fucking AMC in Times Square. There's a line down the street of that exact battle vest guy that you know, like. It's a battle vest. It's a black battle vest. It's only got Danzig patches, and everyone is smoking. And then it's like me, Ryan Wrigley, and like our camera guy Max, all in this line. We eventually make it into the theater. The theater number is 13. Of course it is. I'm sure that's the only reason. Listen,
anything you said would have been funny though.
That's
it's
why
like
he
it's
chose
either
the
9.
AMC. That's why he chose it.
He
They
chose
had 13 open.
Listen, there's got to be 13 theaters so I can go into the 13th one. This is the best part of the entire screening experience. The second you walk into the actual theater area, merch booth.
Nice.
Shirts.
Hell
nice.
yes, dude.
Set up exactly like a concert. Nothing
Was it
different.
merch for this movie, or was it just Danzig merch in general?
No, shirts for this movie. It's just shirts for this movie.
Did you get one?
Of course I did. I bought it. I cut the sleeves off. I wear it every show now. I love this shirt so much. It is also so clearly like screen printed a DVD, but like it's got clear like block of like where
It
the
has
print-
lines. I just found it online.
Yeah, it's so
the
funny.
DVD.
It's the DVD cover. It's so funny. I love it. Jerry Only is there at the screening. He is in full getup in a movie theater.
Uncle Jerry is so supportive, you guys. He just
So
loves to see the
supportive.
kids.
So committed. Doyle isn't there, I don't think. I think Doyle has probably seen it already or something. I've seen it already. I've seen it before.
Doyle doesn't
whatever.
see movies.
I think he was like, I don't know. He's in New York. He's a giant vegan. He went to John's on 12th and ate them till they closed. Yeah. Okay. So Jerry Only's there in full getup. Danzig comes out. to like talk about the movie, and he's just like talking about how he's like, you know, I just wanted to make a movie that was like the shit that I watched when I grew up. Like, I miss it. I don't want any like pussy. He just talks about it like it's everything he's ever talked about. Like, like I made it for me because it's what I like. I don't like no pussy, whatever shit. He was like, it's really funny because he's referencing like the No Face movie. Like, he's bringing up, you know, I was inspired by this movie, Eyes Without a Face. It's like, oh, the first horror movie ever made. Yeah. And he's like, it's so goddamn funny. Like listening to him like talk about the production, because he's like saying everybody worked hard, but then every now and then he'll get to like a crew member who is like, he's talking about like a cameraman who, except for that cameraman, he was a fucking idiot. He didn't know what was going on.
He was probably like, Danzig, this is an unsafe working environment. He's like, you fucking dummy.
He probably, you know what he probably did is he probably talked shit about Danzig's fucking pumpkins.
Yeah, he was like, well, listen, you know what's going to make this an unsafe work environment? You not doing what I'm telling you to do. You piece of garbage.
It's
Now
those
you get on
pumpkins
that
from
ladder and
his
you
stage,
hold
though. That's the guy who fucking told him that his pumpkins were too big.
I think like there was like also something like the suit wasn't like properly ventilated for the spider guy, and he was just sweating his ass off and dying. And he was like, that guy was gonna fucking die. I don't know. Props to him. I don't know. Shit. The fucking makeup guy was an idiot and didn't let the suit breathe or whatever. But I don't know. It's not my job.
Well, he
and
really
then-
channeled that into his performance.
Yeah, dude.
Props to him.
The best part was the actual interviewer who was interviewing Danzig was like, so it said it was going to be a Q&A, and then they specifically said, we're not taking any like questions from the audience. And then the guy proceeded to ask him really basic questions, like as if it was a real movie. But he was like trying to ask Danzig's girlfriend like what it was like getting into the role. How, like, what did it and like the girl didn't know how to like properly, was like trying to think of a nice way to answer it, and then Danzig just turns to her and goes, what he means to say is, what was it like having eyes on your boobs? Unbelievably funny. All right, let's get into the movie. Here,
Oh my
you guys
God.
get in the movie. I gotta go. I think I'm getting a call. I think I have like a Amazon delivery or something. Hold on.
Okay.
All right. This podcast brought to you by Amazon.com. Amazon, it's not surviving COVID. I have to wait 2 weeks for my cat food instead of 2 days.
Someone stole my vibrator off the stoop. I'm gonna burn this city down. All right. Well, Jordan's gone.
All right, so
let's get into it.
first segment of the movie is, I think, in France. I couldn't tell the whole time if it was supposed to be in France or if it was supposed to be in New Orleans, because literally everybody sounds like a New Orleans French-speaking person.
You could tell
Really?
it was
It just to me sounded like Danzig like banged a French Canadian prostitute once and never got over it.
I wrote down, I don't think Danzig has ever had sex or met a French person. Because everybody in this talks like Gambit. They all sound like fucking Gambit.
So person so it's a trilogy. It's like Tales from the Crypt or wherever. In the first one, like Jeremy says, everyone is speaking in a bad French imitation. I won't even say it in an accent.
It's not even an accent. Yeah, it's like, and
Here,
they really vary on like a gradient of bad to extremely bad.
I texted my friend as I was watching it the synopsis of the of Act 1, if you will, and this is what I sent. A French prostitute who has eyes in her breasts cries from her eye tits onto an albino spider and it turns the spider into a giant 8-armed man like from Street Fighter who murders all of her friends, and that's the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then it's like a Freddy Krueger thing where he can only murder people when she's asleep, I think.
But it's also
Yeah.
kind of a Candyman thing where he's doing it in a way that makes people think maybe she's doing it and makes her question whether she's the one doing it.
And it's also kind of
yeah,
a
I
Peter
guess, yeah.
Sellers thing where everybody's doing a fake French accent and no one cares.
Yeah.
And it's not necessary at all.
No.
But the point is that he's an albino Spider-Man who
Yeah.
looks like shit.
I thought he looked great. This is my favorite part.
He looks
It
like
definitely is my favorite part. But
he looks like Killface from Frisky Dingo.
Yes, yeah, 100% looks
Yeah,
exactly
dude.
like Killface.
absolutely.
I wanted I wanted Dejette to just like push like a cereal bowl off a counter.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you're probably thinking to yourself out there in listener land, you're thinking, wow, 6-armed guy, that must look really cool. It doesn't. It looks
It
terrible.
doesn't. It all
You're
looks
probably
like
thinking to
dog
yourself,
shit.
wow, with 6 arms, I wonder what he could do with all those 6 arms. He only uses
No.
2 of them. The
No,
other
no.
4 do absolutely nothing.
he lives as a man, he kills as a man, and he dies as a man.
Yeah. And
He does
for
all
those
of those things as a Spider-Man.
What
No,
made
he
me
can't die because he can't die until she like kills herself or something. Like that's the whole.
Yeah.
I think
Right.
that's
But
why
in,
the cops
in
can
between
shoot him.
that, you're skipping so much stuff. You're skipping the movie theater rape scene where also they couldn't get a real film projector, so they clearly put a box fan in front of a flashlight.
Yep.
Yeah, dude.
there's so much rape in this one.
There's a lot of
And
rape.
Yeah.
Everyone is touching this woman's boobs when they're not
Yeah.
supposed to.
Yeah.
Like that
Yeah.
should be the name of this particular film in the film. It's just
Yeah.
a woman gets her boobs touched when she's like no.
Yeah.
I
So
was,
opening scene, I feel like we haven't really expressed this clearly enough that the opening scene of this is that this woman, the main character, is hooking up with a dude, and then he goes to take her shirt off, and surprise, her titties have eyes on the ends of them.
Oh,
No, here's
but
the
you're-
thing. They are not hooking up at the beginning. She is just giving him a blowjob.
That's true,
the
yeah.
Opening
And very
to
poor
the
attention to detail when she moves away. His dick is very clearly away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're also missing two other really important details. One, the entire time she's being watched by a CGI spider hanging from a rose that clearly looks like a screensaver from Windows 98. Like it's very,
Bye.
very bad looking.
It's like
Yeah.
it's like you got someone on Fiverr to do the 3D animation for him.
It's
so
really
the
bad.
effect
You know what my
of
favorite
this-
show was? Reboot. Let's get something that looks like that.
I love
Yeah.
Bob and Enzo.
The effect this had is trying to watch a prestige drama when you have a fever and you can't piece anything together. And like I was just so maddened. It's like moments were happening and I was supposed to understand as a human who speaks words, but I could not put it together and it just was maddening. I'm like, am I supposed to know what's happening? Is this
Yeah.
gonna
No.
explain? No, it does not. Also, all the blonde women look so similar in this movie that I don't know which blonde woman is which blonde woman at any given time.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to be a dick or snarky. I'm just straight up, I don't know the difference.
Yeah.
She has
I
a
gotta
blonde.
say-
That's super fair.
Yeah.
I was you know, for whatever reason, I went into it and when I saw the boob eyes, I was like, okay, I'm into this movie now. I got for where
I
it's
was
going.
strapped
and
the
then
fuck
and then the
in.
Spider-Man appeared, and for some reason the tit eyes and like what I perceived to be the symbolism of the tit eyes made me think that the Spider-Man was gonna be like her like subconscious rage coming out and that he was gonna like kill on her behalf or something and kill the guy who hurt her, but you know then he just also kills women.
He
Yeah,
kills
like-
random women who have nothing to do with what's happening.
And why does she have tit eyes? They literally play no role in the entire story.
No.
Yes. This is actually a really, really good foreshadowing, because this story doesn't have a resolution, and neither do
Neither
the other
did
two.
any
Yeah,
of
no,
them.
nothing has a resolution in this.
None whatsoever.
Each of these is a sentence that Danzig wrote on a paper, and he's like, "No, it'd be cool. Titty eyes,
I think
bloodbath. That's
Yeah.
neat
Uh,
shit.
I-
What if a stripper had a face on her face?
Yeah. All right. Can I? All right. I'm just gonna say this right now. I don't know if we need to go through. We've gone through the movie. That's the plot. Like,
Yeah.
we can talk about specific parts of it now. Nothing else in this has a plot.
Well,
The
there's
other movie
another-
is
well-
face
Yes.
removal lady, and then the next one is a woman has a blood bathtub, and
Well-
that's the plot.
I think it's important to point out that the face removing lady has kind of her whole own arc with the police, where it's kind of like a Seven scenario.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But
And yeah,
But it's important that we spend time on the spider bit, because it is never getting better than this.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
talk
Yeah,
the
oh,
most
that's
about
true,
the
yeah.
spider.
There's nothing else happening in this movie
it's
after
all
the
downhill
spider's
from
gone.
there.
I want to bring something up.
Okay.
It's a movie directed by Glenn Danzig. It's starring, as Katie pointed out, probably mostly porn stars. And the movie is already just like mostly boobs.
Yes.
There's so much talk of just like ass fucking, and like everyone's to be honest, I'm shocked this just isn't a porn. I'm shocked.
Yes.
It was very
Yes,
close.
dude. It's
to
very
being
close.
Porn.
But I was
will-
why not have them fuck at this point? Like, what are you stopping here for? There's no one. This isn't
Because
gonna go anywhere else.
Danzig thought he was making a PG-13 80s movie. Like, he
Yeah.
thought he was making, like, I don't know, like They Live or Chud or something. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
he thought that's what
Yeah.
he was doing. And you know it's bad when I think Chud's art compared to something.
True.
What was I going to say? Oh, I will say, though, like, that fake French accent, and I got to emphasize,
Everyone.
there was 30 people in that first one with going like, "Oh, yes, film noir, I'm the police."
The neck breaker.
Dude, I
So
love the
when-
waiter with the neck tattoo.
Yes. That guy's the king of this.
So when
That
Best
guy-
one.
went
That
from
was-
that to a literally like a 4-minute strip club scene with like a butt rock song playing, I'm like, this is the best thing I've ever seen.
Well,
These
there's
women
this,
are talented. I'm ready.
there's this famous saying, which is that the devil's blood is in the details, and all of the details of the French thing are so stupid. They're so incredibly stupid. I love that it's French, and the way that they make you think that it's France is that they clearly only had a soundstage for 4 days,
Yeah.
and they set decorated it. And there's all sorts of little things that they do wrong. Like one, the cafe sign is backwards so
Yep.
that it says cafe on the inside instead of the outside. There's the scene where she goes up to the refrigerator and goes, "Do I want milk or do I want beer?" And it's very clearly empty.
Yep.
But my favorite one is there's a laminated printed out sign taped onto the wall outside of the movie theater, and it says something in French. I don't remember what it was, but it was like this tiny little detail. So you'd be like, "Oh, they're in France." And then there's a scene where she's watching the TV, and there's a news report,
Oh
and
my
it's like
God.
an old grandma 1960s rabbit ear TV, and then they
is on the loose again.
it's like
So
it's
funny.
like a dollar store Pink Panther is on the
Wait.
is-
Wait. I just realized that the marquee scene, because I pointed out something in my notes in when they go to the porn theater, that they're in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Not only does
The
the
marquee
marquee
is the Los Angeles theater, and it says it right at the top.
and even better than that is they didn't even bother to hide the fact that it's next to a Metro PCS store.
Look, It's the French Quarter of Los Angeles. What are you guys not getting about this?
Similarly,
Welcome to Little France. It's right next to Little Armenia.
can we talk about the main character of the next one's named Mystery Girl?
Mystery Girl, yeah, dude.
Mystery Girl, yeah.
I want to just say
I'll
that, like,
get you, Mystery
The
Girl.
alluring Mystery Girl.
the idea of Mystery Girl, just on its face, is counter to the very philosophy of a strip club. It is madness to think that there would be a woman who everybody at the strip club is like stoked to see, who her whole thing is that she covers her face, she covers her tits, she covers everything. And everyone's just like,
Mystery
nice.
Girl.
And I'm astounded by the sense of mystery.
Well,
The whole
Jeremy,
concept of strip clubs is public girls.
if you guys look at the strip club, nobody's there, so it's not working out.
Yeah,
Strip
I
club
love
owner
that
is
note
just
from-
really committed to his artistic vision.
well, his vision is like, listen, it's a strip club, but it's not a fucking sausage fest. Get these dudes out of here.
Get these dudes out of here. It's all chicks. It's the best kind of strip
100%.
club. All chicks.
That's why there's no one. That's why no one has sex in this movie, because because Glenn Danzig's like, I don't know, dicks are gay.
Yeah. Yeah. I
That
don't want to
was-
tell another dude how to fuck. You should just that's not up to me.
I definitely thought we were gonna get a live action hentai thing the first time I saw that spider. I was like, Danzig's whole thing is HR Giger. Everything is like BDSM with this guy. I was like, I'm gonna have to watch this fucking dude with fake foam arms covered in saran wrap. I'm gonna have to watch this guy fuck probably. And then genuinely by the end of the movie, I was like, I'm a little disappointed I didn't see a weird spider dick.
Yeah, it was so tame. I really thought this was gonna get into like Cronenberg territory, you know.
Yeah.
But then they're just like, what if every single shot had a lens flare?
Yeah, they blew their load on that opening shot where she pulls out the eyeballs, because I love gore. I was getting
Yeah.
ready for that, and
Yeah.
then they just kind of didn't
No
really
gore
serve it
at
up.
all. That was
No.
it.
What should this guy with 4 arms do? He should snap a neck like Bruce Lee.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lucy made this point. So he's this supernatural, like Freddy Krueger guy, and at the end he just gets killed by being shot by a
Yeah, he
gun.
just gets shot by the cops.
I think
Well, you have to remember he's half spider. You ever try to shoot a spider with a gun?
I feel like she could have tried that first.
I think.
Yeah.
Well, I think. To be fair, in the movie, I think probably because like Danzig talked about it, he was like, "Yeah, they're like linked or whatever," and so if she like killed herself, it made the spider vulnerable. I can't believe I know this.
But yeah, but I mean, it's just lame. You have a guy with 4 arms, and he only feels up a hot babe with 2 of them. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, what are you doing?
I want 6
I want to see
hands,
all those
2
arms.
nipples. Yeah.
Listen, if you've got a weird, horny sex spider in a movie, he should be diddling 4 people.
My favorite
That's all
thing
I'm
though is
saying.
that like right at the end after he gets shot by the cops and dies, and then she's dead, and the French police are all gathered around, just like, ha ha ha, looks like she's dead too. They like look down at her.
she has apples on her breasts.
Her fucking her shirt is like a little bit off of her titty, and you can see that the eye is there, and they're just like, it looks like she had eyeball titties, and that's it. And it has meant nothing to the story. It's done
first-
absolutely nothing to move anything along.
No, but that's the thing is
it was so funny. I love
every scene hangs way too long. Like, they killed the spider guy, and then there's like 3 minutes of like, wait, do not fire anymore. He is dead.
Yeah.
Oh no.
That should be
Yeah.
enough bullets.
Oh, no,
wait.
she died of an overdose.
Which the ultimate version of that was the third last installment, where it's like a evil, like, landlord, ruler, queen, where she bathes in virgin blood to look beautiful forever, right? Like the oldest story ever told, Cinderella bitch. But it's like, there's literally no narrative. It is just that as an idea. Like, no lessons
For
are
half an
learned,
hour.
No plot
Yep.
happens. She literally takes a bath. It's just like a really long skincare video. She like
The
takes
theater-
a bath, and that's it.
The theater at the beginning of the movie, they were like, "Woo!" At the beginning of that part of the movie, they were like, "Woo! All right, last part. This is going to be great." And then it was silence. And then when it was like minute 15 of the woman just literally bathing in corn syrup, everyone just started fucking laughing. That's what he's talking about, is like, oh, you guys laughed at parts where I think it's literally because people are laughing at how long this woman is bathing in red crayons.
Yeah,
It's weird that like the last active decision a woman makes in that film is milk or beer.
Well, before we even get to the bloodbath, wait, the face-stealing mystery woman has no resolution whatsoever.
None.
Basically,
That
she
just
cuts
stops.
a cop's face. She cuts a cop's face with a knife,
Yeah.
runs away. 6 months later, she's stripping with like bullet wounds.
Yeah.
like healed scars.
So
And that's the end.
The story of this one is that it's a stripper who, on the side, as like a little side hustle, is like cutting people's faces off, and the cops are trying to find her. And then they do find her, but she gets away. The cop vows revenge. 6 months later, she's fine.
Listen,
It's
we've
fine.
learned, the thing is, we've learned two things from this movie. The lesson of this movie is fuck cops,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we've been left with the internal question, which is milk or beer.
Milk or
Milk or
beer.
Yeah.
both are gonna make me shit myself if I'm gonna be real.
So I have a question for you guys. So in this second segment, there's roughly 8 to 10 minutes of just purely uninterrupted footage of a strip club. That's like most of this segment, right?
And the only Danzig song.
And the only dancing song. What I was thinking about, though, is that when you watch these sort of like low budget, shitty, like, you know, B-list horror movies, you kind of get a sense when you're watching them of like what the filmmaker likes, right? And it's either like he really likes gore and then everything else is kind of falling to the wayside because that's where the budget went, right? Or he really likes
Right.
the sound effects, or he really likes music or dialogue or whatever it is, that's where the focus is. And this leads me to believe, after watching it, that Danzig just loves titties. And but what I wonder is, like, why aren't more Misfits and Danzig songs like way hornier than they are?
Danzig
That's a good
songs are pretty
question.
horny.
Yeah,
They are.
they're
I-
pretty
I
fucking.
I don't know. Not
You
this
know-
horny though.
I
Yeah,
mean,
they are.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I mean, here's the thing though. So to get pumped for watching this, I re-listened to Danzig 1 through 3 all morning while I was like doing errands
Okay.
and stuff. And I was like, man, Danzig rules. I'm gonna have a lot of fun with this. What I didn't listen to was Danzig 4 through 19, which are fucking terrible.
Which is what
and
this movie is.
Which is what this
Yeah,
movie
that's
is. And you have to remember, like, young Danzig, absolutely a snack. Beautiful man.
Uh-huh.
Was as much as I don't want to admit that Danzig probably had sex. Danzig probably had
Oh,
sex.
Danzig was fucking dog.
Danzig, a 64-year-old man now. You know, he's got money. He's got a camera. He's hornier than he's ever been. I guarantee you that this was Danzig's, not to yuck his yum, but this was how Danzig got off, was making this movie, and that's why this movie's so much hornier than his music.
That's
It's
a
so
good
just-
theory.
it's
And then
so-
also it's like telling that the strip club scenes, like they don't feel like a movie scene in a strip club. They feel like somebody brought a camera into a strip club without
Yes.
permission and was
It's-
filming it through his jacket.
Well, that's
When
the
I-
thing, is because it's half like this is someone filming in a strip club, and half, how did they make a strip club in a rainforest cafe?
It's so unsexy, and it's so funny because you texted before that you were like, "There's a 5-minute uninterrupted scene in a strip club, Jeremy," and I thought like, "Oh, this is gonna be like a Goodfellas moment." It's like 4 different montages that are shot like poorly with no rhythm,
Stationary.
set to
They're on a
completely
tripod.
stationary. there's no movement. There's nothing about them that that
a lot
feels
of hard cuts and weird angles.
hard cuts.
Because Danzig's like, you gotta get in closer, and they're like, are you sure, man? He's like, I'm the
Yeah.
DP and the director and the writer. You're not my father, my god, or my boss.
Yeah. How dare you talk to me, guy who brings the sandwiches and the only person who does anything besides me? But the weird thing about that too is that the big thing in the front is like music composed by Danzig, and I was like, all right, well at least there'll be like a cool, interesting score. He takes like 7 instrumentals and ends them in the middle of the song, and then starts a different song with a crossfade. Like I thought he was gonna like make this, it could have been like this really cool like musical number if he had any kind of technical skill, but instead it really just kind of looks like if you put a camera in a strip club and then forgot to like turn the mic on, so you went home and composed some Fruity Loops.
I will say that that fake French Cramp songs that was playing was so fucking fun to me. It was like,
Here's the thing is, this movie fucking rips, you guys.
I don't know. No, it's bad.
Yeah.
I
The
need to
spider
go
part
on the
rules.
record. This is a bad movie. It is
I love
not
it.
good.
Yeah. It's very bad. I'd happily rewatch the first third just because it veers into so bad it's good
No,
territory.
Don't watch this movie.
It's
How
like
much
some Neil
money-
Breen ass shit. Like it's pretty funny. But the
How
second
much
and third
money was spent on this?
I think
Do we know?
probably $10,000.
What,
I think it's exactly $10,000.
like a C note?
This was $1 million budget according to IMDb.
no way.
Get the-
no way
$1
did this
million.
cost more than a
What?
2 minutes episode.
I was gonna say for $10,000, I gotta say not a bad movie. Like especially with the effects and stuff. But it cost $1 million.
$1 million
I mean,
bucks.
there was
Imagine
40
what a 2 minutes
actors in
episode
that
would
movie.
look like on $1 million.
First of all, 2 CGI spiders.
Just for starters.
Jeremy made a CGI sun.
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
For
That looked
free,
better
I get
than that
paid for that.
spider.
Look, I'm not gonna defend wasting $1 million that very well could have been spent on our show that Danzig has never seen. But I am gonna say that like watching the movie, I can see how easy it would be for someone to waste $1 million. It's not like they spent the money well. It's not like he knew what he was doing. He was just like, "Hey, movies cost $1 million, and I just sold all my Marvin the Martian statues, so let's do it." It's
Yeah.
like there's like 60 actors in here, and they all have lines, even if it's just one. It's not like he got extras or got his friends. Danzig, Danzig was like, "I'm gonna pay you. I'm gonna pay your cousin."
Yeah. And there's at least 2 sound stages, so that's like, a lot.
And they
of
went to
insurance.
France. They had to do a remote location. Second unit.
Yeah.
At the Los Angeles Theater in Paris, France.
Yeah.
Costuming
We love
at the-
Hollywood.
They had to buy all those yards of pleather.
Yeah. I mean, look, the spider costume looked bad, but it definitely looked like something someone could have wasted a lot of money on.
Yeah,
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure.
definitely. Somebody, it feels
I
like
like-
it feels like the Bloomberg campaign in some ways, where it's like it just feels like a lot of people just ripped off Danzig.
Yeah, it's like the Bloomberg campaign is if instead of getting like 35 buses, he got 100 purple light bulbs and installed them all.
Some
In
kid's
one
just like, yeah, I'm the
soundstage.
only. You're gonna have trouble finding purple light bulbs in L.A. if you don't come through me. You're
Listen,
gonna
the
have to pay me
painting-
$100 a bulb.
The painting of the cover of the comic book is purple and blue, so that's what it looks like. I don't know what to tell you other than it's purple and blue. You
I
fuck.
lost my shit where in the first one where she's walking up the staircase in what is clearly a model home that they're shooting in, and there's just a circle spotlight on the stairs.
So funny. So insane.
Like she's gonna come down and sing a song for
The
us
best
all.
part to me,
Gotta have
by
well-lighted
far,
stairs in your house.
to jump ahead, like the best part to me is at the very end when the host lady is topless for no reason, and you're like, "Yeah, of course we're gonna see this lady's tits.
Yeah.
You think I'm gonna hire a
That's
hot
what you
broad
were
and not
here
show her
for.
tits?"
It's like what we were all waiting for.
Yeah, and just
It's like he knew.
It's also like, I mean, every single scene has a shot of someone literally walking directly into the camera till all it is their shoulder. Half the shots are out of focus. Like
Oh my God.
Every single actor spikes the lens at some point, just looks like straight into the camera and is like, hey, viewers out there, I'm a real person with a real job, and I'm using this money to pay my family.
There's like 20 minutes of this movie that's unfocused. Like, it's
Completely out of focus.
Crazy.
Including the green screen.
I
The first shots of the bloodbath lady are out of focus.
Okay.
Yeah.
The
It's
bloodbath
all-
lady.
It has to be out of focus because otherwise you'll see that all of her metal armor is rubber.
It's very obviously rubber. Not a single piece of it even a little bit looks like metal.
Nope. It's all. Listen, this is a student film made by a 64-year-old man who did not go to school.
Director of props Jerry only.
Listen, it's just it's that. It's a student film made by a 64-year-old man that is horny, but for some reason not horny enough, and it cost $1 million, but it looks like $10,000. This is a journey. You gotta watch it.
You gotta watch it. One question: did anybody else notice at the beginning of the Contessa of Blood segment that the organ playing behind her literally plays the riff from the X-Files?
Yes.
No.
Like, it's doing this riff on like just kind of like scaling around and whatever, and then at some point it literally does.
Good.
It's bad. It's a bad movie, but I don't
This is
think
why
it's
the
bad
movie
enough.
demands repeat viewings.
Yeah. I don't know. I think the second half, man, it's not bad enough. It's just the end is just kind of boring. But also, to be fair, I watched it alone, and I've never felt more guilty in my life than watching this movie by myself. You know
That's
what
true.
I mean?
Yeah, I felt really weird.
It's like watching like Rocky Horror by yourself. Let's see the time warp again.
Yeah. Well, Katie and Jeremy had tickets to the screening.
Yeah, I didn't remember that it was happening, so I didn't end up
Yeah,
going.
you bought them for us, forgot to tell us about it, and then we both had important things that we could not get out of.
I don't
You
even
both
remember hearing about
paid
it the
me.
day of. I know we both paid you back for those tickets, and then
No, you paid me before then. We did it at the beginning of the week. I had
I
your
mean-
money.
Well,
I don't remember how that happened exactly. I just remember like a day or two later, you being like, "Man, you should have been there," and I was like, "I didn't even know."
Yeah, we were both like, "What?"
All right.
Yeah, no, I would have liked to have gone. It seems like it was a lot of fun.
Dude, it was so much fun. We had the best time. The only thing that was better than the audience asking Danzig questions is the guy going, "Look, you can't ask him questions. I'm doing the Q&A." Watching everyone disappoint, like, that's funnier than, because they already know that they shouldn't let the audience talk to him.
Hi, Mr. Danzig. Quick question: is she a Polish Contessa? Is she a German Contessa? Where is this Contessa from?
This Contessa's from my goddamn dreams. So, and if you ask me another question, you're gonna get a fist from my fucking head.
You get a knuckle sandwich, a spooky knuckle sandwich.
Oh, we haven't talked about Danzig in a while on this podcast. He's the one who hits fans.
Yeah, he's done it. He's been known to. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no.
I guess-
He yells at. He got in a fight with the security guard.
Yeah, it's that one
and
video.
He yells at people to not do phone stuff most of the time.
We
I think he's
should
given up on that. though.
Make fun of Danzig in this time. We already know he has respiratory issues from him almost coughing himself to death at Psycho Vegas. So thoughts and prayers for.
Coughing into the mic with reverb on in an entire stadium. The worst thing I've ever heard in my life.
He sounded great that night. He wasn't.
He did in between the
The coughing fits. Yeah,
Yeah.
when
I'm
he
s-
sang, he
I'm-
sounded amazing.
I'm stoked to see him again this year too. I'm just not excited for the parts in between where he sounds like a background character in Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I look. Here's the thing. I was in the same boat as him because it's just nothing but people smoking at in Vegas.
Oh, yeah, you
And
can smoke
Danzig
inside
is
Vegas.
notorious. No, Danzig is notorious for hating cigarette smoke.
Oh, that
Which
would
is
explain
very
why
funny.
no one in France smoked in this movie. Because I feel like that would have been the obvious go-to.
Yeah,
It's like, how do we know they're in France? Oh, everybody's smoking, and all of the cops or everybody who's a police officer is wearing a trench coat. Oh, it must be France.
Yeah, my man hates
Yeah.
baguettes too. Didn't see a single fucking baguette.
listen, I don't like cigarettes, and the only bread I like is donuts. So we're not fucking doing it. Everybody's,
that scene.
everyone's
The scene where
gonna,
the cop is eating a donut.
everyone's gonna do a funny voice because they're a little French bitch, and that's what the movie is.
Amazing.
When they're with the face ripper, there's a woman whose face was ripped off, and there's 3 cops standing there, and one is the head cop who will be like throughout the movie, and then he's got 2 subordinates. One is sitting there just eating a donut, and that's Danzig's idea of comedy, and the other is like. The other's the head guy's like, so what happened here? And the guy points at the woman who had her face ripped off and goes, her face was ripped off.
Yeah. Well, wait. His opening line, I wrote it down, is "Nice, another sicko killer."
There's also a great line at the end of that
Sicko
scene
killer.
where throughout the scene, the first cop is saying like, "What's the motivation? We gotta find a motivation." And then at the end of the scene, scratchy voice cop goes, "I think we found our motivation. That person wanted her face."
So good.
This movie's so bad. It's
What
so bad.
what a triumph of cinema.
Yeah.
Listen, it's got everything you want. Cop hate and spiders that want to fuck people in the ass, but are a little too shy to do it.
And only have 2 functioning arms.
You and I have
Oh,
different
yeah.
needs, Jordan.
My favorite that scene where the spider arm man is like hiding in the shadows, but the shadows are bright purple, so you can very clearly see he's a spider person. So
Wow.
funny.
What a film.
What a film.
The one criticism I do have of this film is that I think it could have been like 10 to 15% better if Danzig hadn't been so shy about action scenes. Because, you know, when the face ripper is taking women's faces, there are these very awkward, there's an awkward succession of cuts where she's coming towards her, and then she has her in a headlock, and then you see a knife coming down from the sky into what appears to be a woman's face. But if they could just, if he could have just gotten them to wrestle a little bit, I think those scenes could have been a little bit more compelling.
Yeah, every scene with a knife is very clearly someone is holding a brush covered in fake blood and painting fake blood on someone's face. Like there's one scene where like she's screaming in pain as like a line of red blood, not thick enough to look convincing, is like drawn on her forehead, and then the next shot her face is already ripped off.
Dude, speaking of not looking convincing.
In his defense, that shit's hard.
Yeah.
No, for $1
It's
million.
hard to do.
But for $1 million, I think you could find one of the dudes from Troma to do it. I mean,
Dude, this is what I'm saying though. When I was saying
Yeah.
before about like the thing that you see a horror filmmaker is passionate about, this is, you have a whole third of this movie that's literally just about a woman who's horny for blood. That's her whole thing. She loves blood. You have to make the blood convincing. You gotta do that.
yeah.
It
Danzig
looks
has
like
never.
shit.
Danzig doesn't know what 3 things are. He doesn't know what dramatic lighting is.
Nope.
He doesn't know what blood actually looks like.
Nope.
And he doesn't know what French police officers look like.
Yep.
Because at one point, like the door is getting busted down by like a Looney Tunes version of like the Peace Corps, you know, like with. And first off, he's like, you can tell that they rented the soundstage because he's just like lightly bumping the door, and it's not the prop door. He doesn't want to break it.
He does dent it, though.
French Foreign Legion is what I meant, not the Peace Corps.
Okay,
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Well,
Great.
what a film.
What a film, what a time.
Quarantine. What a film.
What a quarantine delight, everybody.
What a
What
friendship.
was everybody's favorite moment?
Okay. My favorite moment was the French waiter with the neck tattoo, who we pointed out earlier, when he says something like, "Be careful out there. There is the neck breaker
On the loose.
Oh yeah, the one that goes.
no,
we are closing. Would you like a refill?
Yeah.
Danzig also has never been in a restaurant.
My favorite moment, of course, crying eye boobs.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
You
pretty good.
can't.
You can't really
beat
top
that.
that.
Which one, in the beginning or at the end? Because there's
It
a
only
final
cries
tier.
at the beginning.
See,
Like,
I
the first time you see that the eye boobs are crying is so funny because you think you would save that for the end.
Yeah.
But it happened moments after seeing eye boobs, so I was already heightened with holy shit, there are eye boobs, and then it followed it up with oh my god, they're crying. Now we're going into a CGI intro. I love this movie. It's perfect. It should have it should have won whatever shit the Joker won. I don't know.
Best score.
Public infamy.
Best
It won
score.
best score, yeah.
Katie, favorite part?
Best movie that should be hornier.
my favorite was I brought it up before because it's so insane. And the Contessa one where she just took her blood bath and she literally admires herself in the mirror for about 3 straight minutes. And what happens is the camera zooms in and out and it shows you where the cut should have happened. And they just kept going. They just kept going. And that's when I just really started to lose it. I just started laughing at nothing and just being like, you keep thinking there's going to be a line and there isn't. She just keeps like putting her hand on her chin, looking at her teeth, looking at her eyes, and you're like, what vamp bullshit is this? Like, once again, it's like, did I miss something? Am I rewatching it? Did I accidentally? No, it just kept going. And
I think the first two, I think we were lied to because I think the first two movies were directed by Danzig, and I think the third one was directed by Lady Verotika.
Oh, wait, can I add another favorite moment? It's at the
Yes.
Of course.
It's at the very, very end when their Elvira character is kind of like, doing the outro of the show, and she's like, "Hey, thanks for coming, everybody. Make sure to tip your waitress and whatever." But she's like topless and sitting in front of like another bathtub full of blood, and she like dips her hands in for no reason, takes them out, and she's like, "Look, I've got blood all over my hands." And she keeps talking, but then, like you were saying, Katie, that there's all these moments where clearly they just like kept the whole shot in because the camera zooms out a little further. She clearly is done with her line, but like nobody's called cut, so she just dips her hands in the blood a second time.
Yeah, it's like Danzig watched like a documentary on like Robert Altman or something. It was like, I'm just gonna keep rolling and see what the actors do, but instead of getting actors, he got strippers. So just everybody just got sexier and showed more boobs.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what happened, man. I don't know.
What a time.
My
What a
favorite
journey.
moment by far is still just showing the French reporter on TV and then cutting to him just standing in an alleyway, just being like, "There's a killer on the loose. I am Inspector Gadget." Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Yeah.
Go gadget cigarettes.
Lucy, did you have a favorite part?
I mean, if I'm being honest with myself, I gotta go with Boob Eyes crying. But I want to give an honorable mention to the fist shaking part with a scratchy voice cop.
Yes.
Where he's shaking his fist and yelling, "I'm gonna get you," Elvira character.
I'm gonna get you, mystery girl.
Mystery girl, I'll get you.
Oh, what about the line when he goes up to the stripper, like he's about to go into like the back room, and she goes, "You can't go in there. There's naked girls." And he goes, "Yeah, I bet there's naked girls. There's naked girls out here. We're in a strip club." Danzig can write jokes.
Nothing gets past that character. He's brilliant.
Yeah, he's hard boiled.
It probably started with something like in his head, like Danzig, it's like, "You can't go in there. There's naked girls. There's naked girls out here." But then Danzig was like, I don't know, it's a script. You got to make sure that there's an
really spell that one out.
I just,
I would hate for part of my movie to go over the viewers' heads.
This is a little highbrow. It might go up above your eye boobs. God damn it. All right, that's the movie. We watched the Danzig movie.
We
you
did
guys.
it.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing. We're going to have to do this again in like a year because he's making
A sequel?
No, he's making just another movie. He talked about it at the end. They're already shooting it. It is a cowboy vampire movie.
Yes, dude.
And specifically he said...
Salute.
Specifically he said, listen, it's a cowboy vampire movie where everyone's a vampire. You don't gotta wait to see vampires. If you see someone in the movie, they're a vampire. It starts with vampires. It's fucking awesome.
What if the plot of that movie was it's a vampire cowboy movie where they're all cowboys, but they're also all vampires, and they're all starving to death because there's no humans because they're all vampires. So they have to open up a theme park to get people in, and it's basically Westworld meets. I'm gonna kill myself.
I would I would love it.
Would in this movie, the world is a vampire.
It's true.
Fuck you guys.
But
Fuck all of you.
I did the riff. I
thought you were
I'm
doing
supporting
Sunshine
you,
of Your
Katie.
Love. I thought you
A
did
riff
like
is
No,
second
Jordan-
to the last.
Jordan's my only friend. The other three of you into
Yeah, I'm
the
here to
sun.
help. Also, here's the thing. I hope that he just goes, everyone's a vampire, and then he just remakes Once Upon a Time in the West. No vampire shit at all. Just that everyone is wearing fake teeth. That's it.
Yeah, they go into bars and drink cups of blood.
Yeah.
Just like, bartender, give me another blood. That's the only change.
They don't even need to say that it's a blood. It's just they're drinking. They're
Bartender,
drinking
give me another
something.
blood.
Everyone's a vampire. They don't need to specify that they need blood.
No,
so
they
it's just
do.
a
That's
cowboy
the best
movie.
part.
You're right.
That's
You're
what
right.
makes
They
it
wouldn't
great.
serve anything else.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny to me.
It's so funny. I love it. It will be the same thing. Like it's just a guy is
I
just
could imagine
being.
it kind of. I could imagine it kind of playing out like it's a world of vampires that's established, but still every time someone reveals themselves to be a vampire, it's a surprise to the other characters.
Oh shit! A vampire.
Dude, me too. Vampire State. Oh, I went
thought
to
it was just
Vampire
me.
Polytechnic.
Go for you.
Wait a minute. That guy can't be a vampire. I took his photo this morning. And he pulls out a blank piece of paper.
Oh, shit!
Oh, man. Go Bats. Yeah, go Bats.
Jeremy, let's write Vampire High School.
I
I've got
love
nothing
this,
to
yeah.
do. Let's do it.
What a great idea.
Lucy's executive producer.
Teenage vampire baby. I didn't think of the rest.
Yeah,
I'm
so
sorry.
it's a movie. It's a movie that takes place over 48 hours. Everyone's a vampire and a cowboy, but the movie's called Vampire Weekend.
Woo!
All right.
All right, I'm gonna go throw myself into whatever traffic is right now.
Yeah, let's do plugs and go home.
Plugs.
Oh, wait, we're there.
Lucy, plugs.
Okay.
Take us home, Lucy.
Oh, hi. Okay. Hey, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at the Steinbag. And you can also listen to the podcast I have with my fellow comedian and lover, Ray Kump. It's called Our Love is Disgusting. Check it out.
Yay.
You can find me at Twitter at Katie Rose, on Instagram. Oh, hello, Katie Rose. Please listen to Jeremy and I's other podcast, Ballin' Out.
Super.
We're currently doing Dragon Ball Z Kai edition, and you can hear Jordan joyfully singing in the beginning of every episode.
It's true.
Really good, and it gets me pumped and want
People love it. People really love that theme song.
really want to punch holes
Cool,
in the
man.
sky every time I hear it.
Yeah, I wrote like a straight up Dragon Force song. I was like, this is my calling.
It's
wanted to do this
fantastic.
forever.
Find me on Twitter at Jeremy Thunder. Obviously, check out Ball Not Super. Also, check out my other podcast, Generation Loss. If you liked this, you'll like that podcast because we just watch movies and talk about them.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, yeah. Hey, this is Drew. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at diet_Hellboy. I just made a little short with my friend Kyle about a mayor who is guarding his mysterious jar of goo. It's fun, and I guess I'll tweet it. So if you want to watch it, it'll be in my recent tweets.
It's really
Or just
funny.
Google search mysterious jar of goo. Thank you, Katie.
Yeah, I liked it.
It's fun to make things and then watch a bad movie and then just be like, oh God, am I capable of this? Will I one day also just completely nosedive into failure?
I am
And probably.
100% capable of making a movie this bad, and that's what's terrifying about it to me.
Honestly, I'm down. Let's do it. Let's make a movie this bad, but let's spend like $60.
Yeah, I'll
Love
do
it.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
George?
I'm in. Yeah, honestly, we have all of the equipment to make a movie like this. We can just reuse the props from 2 minutes, and we could do it, you guys. I can take a bath for 45
do it.
minutes. Fuck it. I don't, whatever. Follow me on Twitter at Mr. Jordan Olds. Follow me on Instagram at Dr. Mayor. Follow 2 Minutes to Late Night on Twitter at 2M2LN. On Instagram at 2 Minutes to Late Night. We got more covers coming out. They're going to be really fun. They're weird. The guests we have on these songs are going to be really exciting. Just, a lot of people we've never worked with before. Some we have, but in newer and exciting roles. So keep your stupid eyeballs open, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep your fucking stupid eyeballs open.
Yeah.
I
Eyes
don't-
open.
You guys,
And if you got,
Keep
you
your
guys, we've been
titty
trying to
eyes
do this
open.
since 6:30. We've been doing this for 2 hours. I gotta go.
Yeah.
yeah.
We gotta
Yeah.
stop it.
Okay.
If you got stupid fucking ears, though, check on the Patreon. If you're a Patreon subscriber, $5 or more, cool, weird ass fucking demos. That's the new bonus thing.
Yeah.
I just uploaded a whole bunch of them. Jordan made a cover of a Bruce Springsteen song, and it's wild.
Yeah, we have we're gonna be releasing the old demos that I make for each cover, so you can hear just like the weird Logic recordings that I did to get everybody to see like the map of the idea. Like the Weird Al demo is up there. There's also just like pre-rehearsal recordings going up. We also have we know that the shirt delivery system got like really bananas, but we have a newer, cleaner system. So if you want an exclusive Patreon shirt and or patch, sign up to Patreon now.
And it's
our
the only
Patreon
place
works.
that you can see the music video for Uptown Bird.
It is the only. It is so
The
worth
only
it.
place to see it.
You can't even hear
Yes.
and it's also the full Uptown Bird. It's like literally the full 4 minutes of Uptown Bird.
And you have
we did all the verses.
if you have no idea what we're talking about, go rewatch what birds the metal singers sound like, and listen at the very end. There's a song, but there's actually a full song with a music video only for Patreon. HonorableSwords.com. www.honorableswords.com.
Okay,
Is it